Hey, how's it going, guys? What is up? Sora's back once again, and this time we are going through my new dark setup for EX Plus Sting. Yeah, EX Plus stuff, yes. So I'm gonna try to share with what I have, which is my Hades setup, but obviously I did kind of set up a little bit for Magna as well. But probably you can do a lot better, but I'm pretty certain you can do a lot better, but because right now I can't really do a proper Magna setup because like I'm so reliant on certain characters rather, so yeah. Anyway, so my first Hades is this one because I set both assault time and non-assault time. This is non-assault time, so I'll use Long Dong with this, blah blah blah. With 6 in front, because 6 has the 70% thingy, so he'll be in front. Kolulu, top tier. And Lyria's the new Siete after all. Because if not, Siete will be there. And those two, bam, and dead. Yeah. So my non-assault time is I have to press Aurum Flow and Dual Arts. It's not really that slow either way. But it's okay. It's not that slow. It wasn't really that slow to kill it, so I'm okay with that. It was alright. 10 seconds. Yeah, it's fine. Non-assault time, I can somewhat reduce by 1 button, I guess, because I can use like a proper summon. So I do have an extra damage from the having from using a normal summon. While Baha or Hades doesn't really matter for me. Either one works, so I'm actually okay with that. I just need to press this and you should be fine. Please be fine. Okay, good. Okay. So my grid is a little bit too much, I think. Because I am using 3 Fallen Swords and 1 Blood Gang and fully upgraded Opus as well. With Chambers, I do not have any Ultima, whatever. I'm using Chambers because, well, I need the extra meter to provide to 6 outside of assault time, right? So I need that so I can just Aurum Flow and Doras and call it a day. If not, if you have already like any form of like extra damage or whatever, you totally don't really exactly need the third skill either way. Yeah, I feel like third skill is kind of like a plus, but I don't think it's really needed. It's more like because I have like a fully upgraded death and I do have a 0-star serial, so I can cap a lot easier and stuff like that. So that's why I just pressed dual arcs. I think it's more than enough already. But yeah, I was thinking that if I had a fairy harp, I could actually just remove this for a fairy harp and I could literally just press the orange button during assault time, but yeah, I do not have for that, so oh well. But yeah, so this is probably the exact same thing as my non-assault time as well. I have the exact same setup. Grid-wise is the same, summons is the same. It's just that I'm just using different support summons altogether because I need Long Dong for the non-assault time stuff because, you know, I get the extra 30 meter from Long Dong and shit like that, so that helps a lot. And then being able to nuke that extra 2 million from Aurum Flow actually helps a lot as well, so that is really, really nice. So that's for my Hades setup, which is, I guess, is a little bit too much for some people if they are not going for that. But I did somewhat set out a Magna one, but it's heavily reliant on enmity because I don't really have any others, like a lot of like spare weapons and stuff to actually test and all that. I'm fairly certain you can do relatively well if you have 4 sticks or something, but I do not have 4 sticks. I only have 2, and I do not have Magna Opus, so I have to deal with this. I'm pretty certain you can do a lot better with Magna Opus as well, so yeah. So one thing's for sure, I did test it out both assault time and non-assault time. It does look like it's okay for both. But it does look like for non-assault time, I have to press a little bit extra buttons. So for this, I just use like force for fist, and it's all full limit break only. I did not 5-star that shit. And I just use my Baha, and then I just look for I have to look for a Celeste summon because I don't have my own full limit break Celeste summon after all. So yeah, which is technically almost the same thing I'm doing with my Hades as well. Oh, thank God I have one here. I don't think I'd really do that much different too, because it's like during assault time, I just probably need to press this. I just need to press conjunction and attack during assault time. Yeah, see? Wow, Magna is so strong too. But well, honestly, I think the main reason why I can actually do this is just because of her, and because I have this too as well. Because I did somewhat try out without this too, without the extra cap. I don't think I'm able to kill off with just conjunction alone. So in order to bypass that hurdle, you basically, I think you can just make do with just pressing dual R's on MC. I'm pretty sure you can do just fine with that, right? So like for non-assault time, I did try with my normal max limit break Celeste, and it did somewhat work. It did somewhat work, but I did have to press quite a bit of buttons though. Kind of. So non-assault time was relatively slower, and this does not involve having like the trophy thing too, because I'm not using 6 in here. I'm also using this in here. So what I did was like I had to press this thing and this thing and this thing. So that's 3 buttons. It's kind of slow though, but it's still somewhat okay, I guess. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure you can probably do a lot better if you have like not primal, Magna Opus and the likes of a full limit break Celeste instead of mine, because I didn't really bother maxing that out. I'm not really using Magna too much these days, so I don't really care too much. But yeah, I'm pretty certain you can do a lot better that way. And if you have more sticks, you can probably make do without conjunction, but conjunction just makes things a lot easier. It makes things very consistent as well. That's why she's still pretty OP to this day. Fucking Zoe. But yeah, if you have it at full limit break, you'll be in a much better position than I am. Especially if you have full limit break, and let's say if you have full limit break and you only have this and you don't have this, I think you can still do relatively well. But if you don't, then you probably have to press extra buttons to, like, you know, to be able to hit that threshold without like pressing too many buttons, right? Because like if you do not, the reason why having all this cap actually helps, your damage is so consistent with the help of enmity, right? Because you're always at 1 HP thanks to conjunction. You will always hit cap no matter what, right? Especially if you're using like a full limit break Celeste or whatever. You'll always hit the cap, and having the extra cap will make it a lot easier for you. That's why I showed you earlier where during assault time you can just press conjunction and bam, you're done already, right? So this too, if you're lucky enough to actually get this, you can really make use of it. It makes your life a lot easier. So yeah, it definitely helps. But I really don't think that you really need this at all. Honestly, I feel like this does help, but I don't think it's really needed. I think once you get it to full limit break is pretty good already. Because you get most of your damage from this 4 shit here. And then the extra Ogi damage and cap, you come from here, and then from this too as well. So yeah, MET helps out and makes it a lot easier. And plus, well, the sub ticket now, if you want Kolulu's there for you. Yeah, because Kolulu does an extra nuke, makes things a lot easier as well. And Lyria has such a high cap. And the other thing is that probably I'm somewhat able to do it as well, because I did manage to roll 12% cap on Lyria, and I did max out all this stuff, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. So honestly, I think if you can, you should honestly try to get a very good ring for Lyria. Because honestly, what I see right now, Lyria is like the new Siete. You'll probably be using Lyria in like majority of your OTK setups now for all elements. So, I mean, that's what I did actually. I somewhat removed Siete and just put her in there, and yeah, it still works. So, so yes, that's very. I think that's really about it on my OTK summons, or what I did for my OTK stuff for EX Plus and stuff. Hopefully you can find this helpful, I guess. I honestly don't think you can, because I'm only using a certain character setup. But anyway, like, one other last thing though, if you're actually using 6, is not too bad too, because right now he has the extra nuke as well. You know, because the boss does do like a stupid nuke at 50% if you don't kill it immediately, right? So 6 does help you do the extra, I think almost 1 million damage or something. You can probably hit like almost 1 million damage, or maybe 1 mil or more, depending on what kind of grid you're using. He can do that, and he can probably help you do extra damage if so needed. If so happen, like if your Lyria is not doing that high or whatever. But I don't think that's really a problem. So it really depends. If you already make 6 to full limit break, I think he'll definitely help you, at least to a certain extent. If not, you probably have to either get Kolulu or, you know, use any other characters that bump you up in terms of damage. You know, like our lovely tips given from side games, right? You know, just use Richard real quick. You know, get this this god tier SR guy here. Or, you know, get like this, yeah. you can do it like what they mentioned here, but honestly, this setup requires you to press a lot of freaking ass buttons, so that sucks ass. And one of the reasons why I don't like using them for EX Plus anyway. But if you don't have the character setups that I have, then, well, there's no choice for you, right? Because if you have a character like Lyria and Kolulu, these two alone probably reduces the amount of buttons required in your EX Plus setups for the upcoming Guild War, right? Because she's just too damn good right now, especially if you are using Enmity, because she'll have an extra nuke as well at the end of turn. So she does a lot of damage. She can probably do like 6 to 8 million damage on her own. She's just really that strong. That's why it's really recommended if you do not have a good OTK setup, and you for Dark, the upcoming Guild War, and you do not have her, is highly recommendable. If you want to spend your $30 somewhere, yeah, by all means just get her and get your extra 10 roll for your Spark or some shit. Yeah, that will definitely help you in the long run, because Kolulu is a really good ass character. It's not just for like OTK stuff too, it's just like everything she can do is just really strong, because the skill set is so freaking broken, right? So yeah, I think that's really about it. I don't think I have really much else to say about or to add on to this. I mean, by all means, you can add on to help other people in the comments below, by all means. Because, yeah, I mostly spend my time on just Hades, so I can't really say much about Magna, unfortunately. But I'm fairly certain with, like, other characters, if you have the grid already and you have, like, more than enough cap, let's say if you already maxed both of this, I'm pretty sure you can do even way better than I am. Because you have like crazy amount of cap, and if you are using Magna, it's much easier as well. Plus if you have like Zoe and stuff, because Enmity and all that shit. I'm showing the wrong screen, but you get the idea, right? So yeah, that's really about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you find this helpful. Like, subscribe, and the Pega in the comments or something.